So recording has been started. So you you should know about Eclipse, like in Eclipse. So how we are going to design one project and what is the basic structure of the project. So before starting Eclipse, you should have the concept of workspace. So what is a workspace? So workspace is the like repository where you are creating your project and keeping your all files. So in my computer, I have kept it in the C drive, like you can see workspace. Fine. But by default location is the users, go to users, the users which you have logged. In your computer, you will find the location, say that my computer is Lenovo. So Lenovo is the user. So I am going in Lenovo, you will find here a workspace folder. Fine guys. But in my computer, I have moved that folder into C drive root. So this is the workspace. You can see all the projects which I have created are present here. And I'm also going to give you the concept because this is the main thing. A workspace can have multiple projects. A project can have like multiple packages. Multiple packages can, like a single package can have multiple classes. So just going to give the same concept over there in Eclipse. First you need to create one project. So go to file menu, go to new. Just you can like you will get this recorded session, no problem. File, go to new, just come here, go to Java project. So when you will come here, you will have to give a name. Say that I am giving the name like Java demo. Fine. And month name is September. So I am giving the name like Java demo September. You don't need to like modify anything else. You just simply need to click on finish. You can only like check which versions of Java like you are using. So it is like Java 1.8 I'm using. You have to use Java 1.8. Finish. Once you have added that project in your repository, so one structure would be automatically created here. You can click here on the arrow. Fine. And when you will go to SRC, like by default folder is created SRC, that is called source. So this is the basic structure, it will be given by default. And since you have opted for Java project, so Java libraries are also by default there. You can see like these are the Java library by default added. But for Selenium, you need to add separately. But today we are going to cover Java. So next step is just right click on the source SRC folder. Right click here, go to new and create one package. So here I would like to give you the concept what is a package. A package is a kind of folder. A window structure, a package is a kind of folder. In a package, we can create like similar related things regarding our module. You can say a package can be your model of the project. Say that your project has multiple models, so you can design your packages as per models. So simply you can create here package, and package name basically we are starting from com. By default we are starting, but you can give any name, and first letter should be small. Fine. So I'm giving here com. You can put com one, like you have, if you have multiple packages, so it is not allowing numbers, so you can put like com or module, yeah, something like that you can say. I'm giving here com here. Fine. So this is like package and it is empty because it is white. You have to right click here. Now go to new, go to class. Fine. Here you have to give the name of the class. So class name should be, first letter should be capital. I am giving the name as demo. Spacing not allowed, underscore is allowed. Fine. You can give the name like demo Java, like that, and you should click here public static void main. Click here finish. So by default demo Java dot Java would be like what the name you have given. So Java extension would be added and a file name should be created like that. This is the file name, and in which package this file is lying, you can see. Package name is com. So com is the name of package, you can see. So package you have created and the name of the package is com. So it is coming like that. Fine. And this is the name of the class which you have given. So you have given like demo Java. So this is the name of class and basic structure of class. So first I will like to define what is a class in Java. A class is basically a user-defined model. You can say user-defined data type or user-defined model in Java. A class can have using primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type, it means you can define your own data type here also. And primitive data type are like some by default data types given in every programming language. Like int, char, fine, double, boolean. So lot of like primitive data types are given. So using those primitive data types, you can create your own data type. A class can have data type. A class can have methods. A class can have constructors. A class can have class. It means nested class. You can say nested class is allowed. A class can have interface. So all such things are allowed inside the class. Fine guys. So basic structure of the class, that you have to use class keyword in a small letter. C is small and the class name should be starting from capital. First letter should be capital. And in Java, if you are adding two words or if you are concatenating two words, so we are using like second word first letter should be capital. This is not mandatory, but for your use ease we are using that. And this concept is called camel casing. This concept is called camel casing in Java. So, and this is the modifier. So I will like discuss the modifier in the later sessions, but today we are mainly going to focus. What is a class? A class is a data type, user defined data type. A class can have data type, data members. A class can have methods. A class can have constructors. A class can have class. A class can have interface. So basic definition is that, and we are just creating the class, and this is a kind of template. By using this template, we will be creating multiple data types of similar templates. So how to create class and how to use that. So this is the basic structure. This is the basic structure. This part is optional. You can remove this. This is not mandatory. Fine. This is not mandatory. Fine guys. So this is the basic structure of the class name, and then curly bracket starting, curly bracket closing. This is the basic structure. And let me undo so that I can come to the next part. And what I can do inside a class, I can create some data and I can like create methods. So first, let me give one or two example of data type. Say that I want to use integer data type. So int is the keyword. Int x equal to 100. I am using here. Fine. So this is one data type. I can use like char ch equal to, I am giving like a, and last semicolon should be there. So this is the end of one statement. This is the end of one statement. Fine guys. So we have like created two data types, and using these data types, we will be creating some methods. Fine. So how we are going to create the methods? Simply like go to right click here. Go to right click, select this. I don't think it is select is required. Right click here, source, get setters and getters. This is one way, generate getters and setters. So for which variable you want getters and for which variable you want setter, you need to simply click here. Fine. Or you can simply select all and click on OK. You have just got the method's name. Let me delete this. So this is one way, but I will not use because this is bit advanced concept. You will be getting this in the later session. This is one way which I wanted to show. So this is like gate, set, gate and set. So via gate we can get the value and via set we can assign the value inside the variable. But I will remove this because I want to show you how you can create your own method. Say that I want to change the value or I want to display the value. Anything you can want, you can design here. Say that I want to display the value. I will simply put method name display. Method name should be starting parenthesis like small bracket you can say. Then block statement is required. So I'm getting red symbol. Why it is red symbol? Because it is asking me for return type. So simply click here return. Generally we are having the return type as void. If you are using return statement inside the method, then you can change the return type like integer, character, string or whatever. You will come to know in the later sessions. So this is the standard way of creating one method. And inside the method you can write the statements of Java statements. Say that we are using Java. So by using Java concept, Java syntax, we will be writing statements. Fine. So it should be display. D-I-S-P-L-A-Y, right? P-L-A-Y. So this is the method name and this is the basic structure how we are creating the method. Now what I want to do, I want to print the value. I want to print the value. So simply I will use syso, S-Y-S-O and control space bar from your keyboard. You will get like sys out. Just double click here or press enter. You will get one method. So this is the method. What it does, it simply print something. It simply prints something and like the cursor, after printing the cursor goes to next line. So this is like print something and go to next line. So what I want to print? I want to print the value of x. Simply I will type x here. Again I want to print something else. I will copy here and this time I want to print ch. So simply I will pass ch. So this is the standard way of printing variables. So this is called variables and you are printing here variables. What if you want to print hard coded something message, something like that. So how you are going to do that? You have to use this method like system.out.println and inside the method in the double quotes you can print something. Hello, we are in display method. Fine guys. So this is the basic structure and I have like written here 3 lines of code. So when I want to print these 3 lines of code, I will simply call this method. Fine. So how this is the design part. I have completed with the design part and what I will do, I will design one more method. Fine. One more method, I will like change the value. I will try to modify the value. Fine. So, or I will put the name here as update. Curly bracket. So again I am getting red symbol over here. Just go to here and change to void. Fine guys. Now design part has been complete. And what I want to do, I want to change the value. So how to change the value? Say that x, this is x. I want to change the value x equal to 500. So this is was integer. So I am like assigning here integer value here, and this is like character. So I am changing here ch equal to, and I have to use semicolon as well. Simple. This is the basic design of class, and like how to use the class. Now the thing comes how to use the class. But before that, I want to give you some concept. This is inside a class. Like what we are using, what all other things are inside the same class. Fine. Note this one. We are inside the same class. The things which we have designed, like what are the methods, all these are inside the same class. So in Java, if a method is present inside the same class, then he can or it can access the variables. So what I am using the variables over here. Here, the variable name was x, the variable name was ch. I was able to use inside the method. But when you are using main method, so what for main method, I want to give you one concept in Java. The things which you have designed, after design, suppose that you want to use those design pattern, so you will have to design one main method. Everything written inside the main method is going to run. Basically, when your program is like into run mode or execute mode, so JVM comes into the picture. JVM, it means Java virtual machine. It is taking control from operating system, and like it is interacting with the operating system. So whatever the program, all such things is being controlled by JVM. It is instructing operating system to do such thing. So basically JVM coming into the picture, and JVM first looks for this line of code. So public static void main, and in this is the method. Whenever you will see this kind of parenthesis open and close, consider that is a method. So main is a method in Java, and inside the main what it is written, that is called parameters. Fine. Or you can simply, if you are designing, then you can consider it arguments. So why, that is why it is written here args. So this is the basic format of main method, and inside the main method you need to learn how to use the design, what you have designed, how to use that design. I will come to that, but first you need to know about main method. So public, it means outside the class it is accessible. We are inside the class, but outside the class also it is accessible. Static, it means like we don't need to create any object of this class for using this method. Fine. And void, it means this is the return type. Like other methods are having void kind of return type. Void means nothing. This method is not having return statement. This method is not having any return statement, so that is why it is like void. And this is the method name. Main is the name of your method. And JVM first looks for this line of code, where no matter wherever it is written, but first it comes and looks for this line of code. Where it will be found, there only it will start your execution. So it is a method, so it should have been a like block statement. Every method in Java is like have a block statement. So similarly, this is also having block statement. Fine. But point to be noted, this is a static method. Fine. This is a static method, although it is present inside the class, but it is a static method. So a static method in Java have some restriction or has some restrictions. So you cannot use variables directly over here. These are the variables of the class. These are the methods of the class. But you cannot directly call the variables or methods inside the static methods. So there are some restrictions. In the later sessions, we will be covering those restrictions of the static methods. But for here, you need to know how you are going to use it. So simply, you have to create one object of this class. What the design you have created, you will have to create. Rule says that you will have to create one object, and after object creation you can access all the members of the class. So first we will learn how to create an object. Fine. And before that I would like to say you, like, methods are basically designed to access the variables. Methods are basically designed to access the variables in Java. So a class is basically containing data variables and methods. So methods are basically designed to perform some kind of operations on the variables. Fine guys. So inside the main, first we will try to learn how to create an object of class. Simple, pretty simple. Use the class name. This is your class name, right? For which class you want to create an object, just copy the name of that class. Come here and paste it. Then give the name of any reference. Say that someone has born in the world. So you are just, for calling, you are giving some name, right? So you have to give some name. I am giving here obj. Fine. Then after equal to symbol is required. Then after new operator is required. This is the operator in Java. New is the operator in Java. Equal to new operator. Then you have copied this name, right? You just need to paste it, and this is the basic format. And after semicolon, and your design part and creation part has been completed. After running this line of code, an object would be created inside the heap memory. So we will be also covering the concept of heap memory in Java, but for concept you just need to know, by a new object you are going to create an object inside the heap memory area of Java. Fine. Heap memory area in the memory, you can say, not in Java, but in heap memory area in like memory. Fine. So via new operator, this is the new operator, you need to call the class name, then give the parenthesis open. So this is the basic syntax, and this is the calling name. Obj is the calling name, and this is the type. This is the type of this calling name. Like this is demo Java. It means it is having a reference type of this class type. Fine guys. So this is the rule to create an object in Java. So I will come here again. What I topic? What is a class in Java? I covered. What is a method in Java? I covered. What is a variable in Java? I covered. So class members use shown. What are the members of the class? Like variables and methods are the members of the class. How to create class and use the class. So creation of class was this part. Using of class was this part. Fine. Concept of main method in Java. Given how to create class and use. I just taught you how to create like a class and use. This line completed. Constructors in Java I will cover later. So first you need to know how to use the members. Simple. This is the method name, right? And this is the method name, right? So simply you can call the methods via this reference. Just copy here this reference and paste it. Fine. And put dot operator. So via dot operator you will get the entire list. You will get the entire list, like what are the options present on that reference. So some options are designed by us, like we have designed, and some are by default. So object is the super class, like parent. You can say not super class, it means you don't know super class concept. So I will simply say this is parent. Object is the parent of every class in Java. Fine. Immediate parent, you can say every class in Java. So some methods or some things are coming from object, but some things we have designed. You can see here, like display we have designed, and update we have designed, like ch we have designed, and x we have designed. Other things are coming from object. You can see here obj, object, demo. So this is the basic concept. You just need to put the dot operator, and what are the things you require, just click here. Fine. So I am simply calling obj.display. And how to run the program? How to run the program in Java? Simple. This is the green button. You can see this is the green button. If you will click here, go to console. So there is one console section. You will go get like by default. If you are not getting, go to window menu, go to show view and click on console. If that is not present here, then go to other and search for console. You will get your console here. Fine. Sometimes like by mistake or someone has turned it off. So at that time you can get the console via this way. So when you will go to console, you will get the output of this program. You can see what I have designed, that is not considered, but what I have written inside the main method, that is going to run. So inside the main method, I have created one object, and after creation of object, I am calling display method. So what are the code written inside the display method are going to run. So I have simply printed X, I have simply printed CH, I have simply printed this message. You are getting 3 lines of output here. Now what I want to do, I want to call this method. Simply how to call that method? obj dot update. Fine guys. So I am updating, but inside the update I have not written any code. Let me write not written any code. No, like I have not written any print code. So let me write some print code so that you should know that this method has been called. Just for confirmation purpose I am writing this, and what will happen when I will call update method, it will update the value, and after that, after updation, I want to see the updated value. So I am simply again using display. So first it will show me the by default value, then after it will like update the value, then after again I am calling the display, so it will show me the latest value. See, I am running here and you can see the output. What is the output I am getting? So first 3 lines of code are coming. You can see here. And after that, like update operation is performed. So one statement was written that we are inside update method. Then after I am again calling display. So at that time it is displaying the latest updated value. You can see here. And one thing I would like to tell you, like in Java, you can create multiple objects of the same class because the design part has been completed. So I can create multiple objects of the same class. Say that I want to create one more object. So what I will do, I will simply copy this line of code, come here, paste here, you will get some compile time error, something like that. Just change because two objects cannot have the same name. Fine. Two objects cannot have the same name. So again copy this line of code. And here I can use obj1, obj1, obj1. Fine. Now again I am going to run. See here. I have created two objects and I have like run the value for two objects. So in this way you can create multiple objects as per the requirement. So you learn how to create class, how to use the class inside the main method. Fine. But this concept was for single class. So in the like coming sessions, when you will like will be familiar with class concept, I will be trying to distribute the codes into separate classes so that you can have some more idea. Fine. Now I am going to like cover constructor. So what is a constructor in Java? Simply how to design one constructor. So first you should know about what is a constructor. These methods you were calling manually. You have to write some codes for these methods, right? You were writing codes, you were calling this line of like codes here, or you are writing the codes to call them. But for constructor, it is automatically triggered at the time of object creation of any object or any class, I can say. Fine. Every time when you are going to create one object, the constructor would be automatically triggered, and what the code you have written inside the constructor will be automatically run. In Java, we can have two type of constructor. One is like by default constructor and one is like parameterized constructor. One is like by default constructor and one is like parameterized constructor. So first we will go for by default constructor, design and use. Fine. And before going for constructor, I would like to mention one important point. Either you are going to design a constructor or not. By default, in Java, every class has a constructor automatically. If you are not creating any constructor, in that case also, a Java is having a by default constructor given by the Java programmer or designers. Fine. But you can explicitly write the code for the default constructors in Java. So first we will see here how we can design our own constructor. Fine. So by default, like there is a constructor, by default constructor or no parameterized constructor, but we can write some code for that. How? A constructor is basically a method. So you will have to write like this. A constructor cannot have any return type. Like method, you don't need to put any void, int or something like that. A constructor cannot have return statement, fine, because it is not having any return type. But a constructor in Java by default returns the instance of the class, reference of the instance of the class. That is advanced concept, but you should know about that. A constructor is not having any return type in Java, but it is returning the reference. It is returning the reference. It is returning the reference of that instance for which it is being like triggered. So this is the basic design pattern of the constructor, and what I will do, I will simply write one line of code here so that you should be aware about how or when constructor is being called. You can see, hello, we are in constructor. I have simply written one line of code and nothing else I have changed. Other things are same, and you can see like these are the previous outputs. But what will happen, I want to like emphasize in that here I have created two objects. One is this and one is this. So this constructor would be called two times. Fine. So at the time of creation, when you are using new operator, it looks for any default constructor. Fine. If the constructor is found, that code will be automatically executed. If not found, then also it is found. It is fine. So if this line of code is fine, so at that time it looks for this line, this method. If it is not found, like this is constructor, if it is not found, then no problem. But if it is found, then whatever the code you have written, that is going to execute. Let me run this. You can see here, when you are like into the main method, you are writing your first line that create one object. So at that time, this line of code is automatically coming, because when it comes here, it looks for this method, and if it is found, it will automatically execute that. A constructor is basically designed in Java to initialize the default value. Earlier I was not using constructor, so I was initializing here manually. But what I will do now, I will remove this from here. I will not initialize it. I will just create it. I will initialize it inside the constructor. So basically the purpose of designing the constructor is to initialize the variables of the class. So I am initializing here x is equal to 201 and ch equal to, say that I am using d. So single character is like given into single quotes. Remember this. And one more concept I would like to give you, like one is string. A string name, say that I'm not using name here, the semicolon I'm putting here, and I'm initializing here name equal to you can see here. So I have three variables, and what I did, I initialized that variables inside the constructor. So now if I will run, you can see the latest value it is taking first time for first object is when the display method is called, the latest value it is coming taking from constructor. So by default, if you want to initialize members or variables of the class with some default value, you should go for constructor. Otherwise there is no need to design a constructor. It is optional concept. It is optional concept. You don't need to, it is not mandatory to have a constructor. But in Java, if you are not designing any constructor, so in that case also a class is having a by default constructor given by the Java designers. Fine. So and one more concept I would like to give you. Every class in Java is having a constructor. At least one constructor is there. But here we will try to have more concept on the constructor. This is one way of using the constructor. What I'll do, I will copy this line of code and I will come with more solutions. Copy, paste here. So I am having Java 2. Here I want to show you some demo about parameterized constructor. So how you are doing that? Let me remove this line of code. See, this is called default constructor in Java. So in comment, if you want to put some comment, you can simply use double slash. It means double forward slash, and you can put the comment. Default constructor in Java. Fine. Default means you can also call it or no parameter. So this is one example, like why we are using constructor, how you are using constructor. This is one concept. And again, one more concept I would like to give you, like parameter constructor. You can have one default constructor and you can have multiple parameterized constructor. Note this point. You can have one default constructor and you can have multiple parameterized constructor in Java. So there is no limitation how many constructor you can design. And this concept is called constructor overloading in Java, which I am going to use this. See, here I am getting some kind of error because two default constructor are not allowed. Two default constructor are not allowed. So what I need to do, I need to modify something in the parameter. Say that I have x, I have ch, I have name. So what I will do, I will take int x1 here. For ch I am using char ch1 here, and for name I am using string type name1 here. Why it is like that? I want to pass some value from main method. See, I want to pass some main value from main method, and those will be like holding. For holding those values, I have to place some variables so that you can hold the values passing from the main method, and to initialize the value coming from the main method. Fine. So what I will do, I will modify this also because I want to use that concept x equal to x1. So what the value will be passed from the main method, it will be initializing this one. And for like ch, I am writing here ch1. It's pretty simple. What the values are coming, I am just assigning here. So don't confuse like why I am using here like that. Earlier I have done for default initialization, but here I am like getting some value from the main method which I have to initialize here. So that's why I am using here like this. So this is the design part completed. Parameterized constructor. Fine guys. So this is the parameterized constructor. We have completed the design part. And now how to use. So this is one way of calling default constructor, because you are not passing any value inside here. So when this line of code will be executed, so it will look for default constructor. But if you want to use this constructor, so what you will have to do, you simply copy this line of code, create one object, change the object reference name, say that I am using here obj1, and I want to call this. Fine. So first reference is integer, second is character, third is string. So I will be passing in the same fashion. I am passing here int is equal integer, say that 100. Then I am passing character equal to like I am passing here g. Then again comma, and I am passing here string. So string should be in double quotes, like I am passing here computer. Fine. You can see here. So this is the another way of using the constructor. And you can see I am getting the warning. Why I am getting the warning? Because it has just created the variables but not used. So for using, you need to design some methods, or you can simply call them inside the main also. If you are not having any method, so you can call here too. Say that CISO control space. I have designed one method CISO. I will design one more method CISO. What I will do, here DJ dot. Say that I want to print the value of ch. I am printing this. If I will run this, you can see here I have used one default constructor here, and I have used one parameterized constructor. So when line number 41 will be executed, it will look for default constructor. So that's why it is this line of code is coming, right? Guys, you can see here. And in line number 43, when it is executing, it is executing this line of code. So that's why you are getting the output like that. Hello, we are in parameterized constructor. It means you learn here how to design and how to use. So this is the designing part, but this is the using concept, how you can use this. Fine. And similarly, you can print the other values here too. I'll simply copy and paste here. I will try to run this, and I will run here. You can see first time it is coming as D, and second time it is printing G. So for by default the value was D, and for parameterized I am passing the value as G. So that's why it is coming as G, and by default value was D. So due to this line of code, my obj is printing the D, and due to this line of code, obj1 is printing the value G. You can see here. Similarly, you can copy and paste it and change the value. Fine. So here I want to print the value of x, right? Dot x. Here again I want to print the value of x. It's pretty simple, not bit tough, you can see. Simply need to understand which one you want to call. So one I have created like by default, and one I have created like with the help of parameterized constructor. So if I want to call the value from here, then I am like using obj1, and if I want to call the value from here, so for that I have created obj. So via obj I am able to call. Again I want to get the name values, so I will change this time here dot and print the name. So first time it will be printing the name of default, and second time I am going to print the what I have passed it from here. If I will run this, you can see the output. Via this output you can understand like how the values are going to use. So I think I have covered enough for today. So all things, whatever target I made it for today, I have covered. What is class in Java, what is method in Java, what is variable in Java, what are the class members, and how we can create the class and use the class, concept of main method in Java, constructor concept. Fine. So that's enough for today, guys. Thank you for joining the session. If anyone has any question, they can ask.